he is 100% worth it.
He takes it to another level. Oh my God, I just fell in love with it.
Thanks so much, Jay.
Blew my mind. And it worked. I wanted to buy my thing.
Jay is, I would say, the Yoda of sales calls, man.
Just talking to Jay, he was so good at just taking what it is, seeing the opportunity and the value and the real reason we are making it.
Talk to Jay, because he got it. He can definitely help you out.
Talk to Jay. You're going to get a lot. You're going to gain a lot.
I would absolutely recommend him for any position that you have.
Jay's definitely the guy.
Give him the chance, give him the opportunity. You won't regret it.
He's good at what he does, so I highly recommend him, and I would book him before he is fully booked out.
What is up, everyone? I am super stoked and excited today. We're going to be diving deep into the heart of sales and community with Jillian Murphy's guide to sales success and building community. Let me just give you a bit of back information with this incredible sales savage and queen, a topic that's not just a passion, but an obsession for her, but with over 22 years of experience in sales and marketing, $100 million in sales, a track record of growing multiple businesses. She's on a mission to help online business owners achieve results, real results, through powerful sales strategies and effective messaging. Sales are often described as the oxygen of any business, right? And she firmly believes that mastering this skill, I'm a huge advocate as well, is essential for any entrepreneur. Her dedication to transforming how we approach sales is inspiring, and she's here to share invaluable tips, training, and coaching support to help you fall in love with the sales process. My kind of gal. Join us as we welcome Jillian Murphy, a powerhouse in the world of sales and community. Jillian is here to share her invaluable insights and strategies that will elevate your sales game, drive your business forward. So stay tuned for an inspiring conversation and podcast interview that promises to ignite your sales strategy and connect you with a community that you need to succeed in. Jillian Murphy, what is up, sales queen?
I am so excited to be here. I just listened to that intro and I was like, can you just follow me around all day? Because that was like amazing.
You know what? I'm a big advocate of lifting others up. So I'm a big fan of yours. And obviously we're in the same masterclass. And, you know, I think you said it really well in your Sip and Sales networking event that I came to. And thank you for the invite. Is, you know, we're in the same space. You know, most people would feel insecure or intimidated or, you know, man, we're competitors. But I'm like, man, let's work together. Let's see how we can win together. Let's see how we can elevate each other. Let's see how we can collaborate together. You know, we're people of faith. So as kingdompreneurs, queenpreneurs, we're all about working together and having that unity to advance, you know, missions moving forward. So good to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. From literally the minute that I met you, I remembered like being on that call and I was like, I'm going to slide into this guy's DMs and I'm going to literally make him my BFF, whether he knows it or not. And we are on track for that.
And guess what? I'm here to learn from the best. So, you know, we're going to be talking about the closer and the replay that is ridiculously, you know, priced right now. And we're going to give you an, you know, an offer that you're not going to be able to resist. I invested into it literally, I think today. And it's something that I highly recommend that you guys do. I'm considering it to be 5, 10K or more easily. And Jillian will go over some of that at the very end. But let's start from the very beginning. We probably should have our own show, but because I feel like there's going to be many, many more episodes.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about, you know, I'm watching all your IG stories and your posts, and they're amazing. I think it's some of the best that I've seen in a long time in the sales space. And one thing I saw was, you know, one of your clients did 252K, you know, you're getting some great results, 9,400 PIFs, and, you know, all the success that you have been seeing and in your life was like, it seems like, you know, oh man, it's amazing. But then you said in one of your posts, in your stories, it was the last one that says, but guys, this is 22 years of experience and failing and falling flat on my face. What nobody else sees is the experience, the failures, the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you invested. You put a whole gobsmacking amount of investment even this year, the last month or two. You told me this. Tell us about, your journey from when you were little. Were you always entrepreneurial? Were you always thinking of becoming, your own businesswoman, or were you kind of set up from your parents by saying, hey, here's education, here's a corporate track, this is for you? What was it all like from the beginning?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I never had like this desire to be an entrepreneur. It was something that I really grew up with. My dad owned some companies, so I like knew of it. But I actually went to school to be a police officer. I went through the academy. I lasted about halfway through. And I remember calling my parents on a Sunday. They were actually walking through a farmer's market. And I was like, Mom and Dad, this is not for me. I can't do it. Like, I'm going to probably get killed. Like, this is not for me. And they were so happy because they realized it wasn't for me. I actually went on to marry a few police officers. So then I
few? Not at the same time.
No, but failure leaves success, or leaves habit. So I did the same thing multiple times, and I realized it definitely wasn't for me at that point. And I went into the corporate space when I was 19 and a half years old, and I went into a food service distribution company. And that's really where I fell in love with sales. And I was like, this is kind of amazing. Like, I get to go out. I get to meet like new people every single day. I get to be in community. I get to make like a ton of money. Like, this is amazing. And, I really went from being like an entry-level salesperson up to one of the top performers in my company by the time that I left. And then, the pandemic came around and positions were eliminated and things were shifted around. And then I was forced to be an entrepreneur. But I didn't come to it by nature.
Okay. You lost me, and I got completely like sidetracked with I didn't know you were a police, going for police schooling, and I didn't know you married a couple of police officers. When maybe you said like, I married a police officer, but how the heck does that happen? Like, not you getting into police school, obviously, that's another thing, but what is it that attracted you to these police officers that you would actually not just date, but marry? And how many are we talking here?
So it's actually interesting. My high school boyfriend is a police officer. My daughter's father is a police officer. And then I married 2 police officers. So we actually have 4 in my like roster. Yeah. It's funny. My daughter's always like, you need to clear the bench with this like career, because like they are not for you. And I actually have not dated a police officer in like 20 years. So we are good now. But I think that it was just probably like the power, the uniform, I don't really know what it was. They were
men in uniform.
Yeah,
like Navy.
Yeah.
People like. Do you like the guys that are dressed up in Navy uniforms and stuff like that?
I don't really know what it was, but it was clearly not a good path. Not a good path.
So, let's try to make a lesson from here. Yeah. So after these 4 police officers, what's the greatest lesson or takeaway that you learned from that, and how did you apply that in today's life?
Yeah, I think the greatest lesson that I really learned from that, quite honestly, was that I didn't really even like know who I was. I was just like repeating the same pattern. And when I really look back, it was like, oh, I was just fitting this like mold that I like thought I wanted. I just kept repeating the same mold over and over and over. Like, I didn't like want to date someone that worked weekends and nights and like didn't really make a lot of money and was gone all the time and was like a partier and like all these things. And I feel now that like I look back, it was like that wasn't even in alignment of like who I actually wanted to be. So that's not even like who I would date today. Like, I would never even date a police officer today.
Oh, wow. Okay. No. So all the police officers and Uber drivers, you're out of luck.
I'm sorry, you're out of luck. Unless you want to slide in my DMs and tell me something different, you want to sell me on it? Come on, baby.
I don't know if you caught that Uber joke, but how was that like?
From yesterday. So random. Like, come on, Uber drivers, please do not hand me.
That's just creepy. That's just creepy.
It's so creepy. Yeah. If you guys don't know what Jay's talking about, I was in an Uber yesterday by myself, and the Uber man not only was hitting on me, but telling me that he had 11 children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He also had 11 children and was telling me how Uber does not pay him well. it was like the most uncomfortable conversation ever. And I was like, I'm going to get chopped up into little pieces and put in the trunk somewhere.
And he was commenting on your appearance?
My appearance, my energy, my aura. He couldn't believe I didn't have a better half here. And I was like, this is so creepy. Take me to the airport, please. Yeah.
Can you report people like that? Like, wouldn't they lose their jobs?
Probably. Also kind of weird. I forgot to say this in my stories. He also said, if you actually want to ride next time, here's my personal number. And he gave me his card, which I also thought was interesting because now he's like going around like the Uber like franchise, which I also thought was kind of weird. I was just like, okay, thank you. I like threw his card in the trash, but like the whole situation was just very odd.
My goodness.
It was odd. It was very odd.
Wow, that's a different kind of client attraction magnet, I think.
I'm like, let's dating number 12.
Okay. I'm going to go through a lot of different things and we're going to go raw and real. But I mean, okay, so this has a little bit to do with relationships and, you know, things that are near and dear to your heart. The vet hospital, 1 week.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's your dog. I don't know. I can't remember what kind of dog you have. This is the first time you've ever let anyone, you know, handle or hold or, you know, take care of your dog apart from you and for 1 week.
Yeah. It was hard.
That was an emotion. Yeah.
Yeah. So to give your audience like a little background, I moved to Arizona 1 year ago, actually tomorrow, 1 year ago tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 1 year ago tomorrow. I've been in Arizona. I left on the 9th. Took me 4 days to get there. My boyfriend of a very long time drove me there. Best human on the planet. And drove me to Arizona. And I've been here now for a year.
Wow.
And I don't have family here. I don't have a ton of friends here. And I am visiting some people here in Florida. And I had to drop my dog off for a week. And it was so hard. And I was literally like bawling my eyes out, dropping my dog off. Like they were like, do you want to walk your dog back? I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I can't walk her back. And I had these like big crocodile tears coming down. They're probably like, it was literally so sad. I like got in my car and I was like crying and
oh,
wow, moment, Jay.
That's so sad. I'm so sorry to hear that. I mean, that's how tender your heart is towards your dog. Oh my goodness. Oh man. So that's for your trip to Florida, and then your dog is in Arizona. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. My goodness.
And it's
I can't even imagine.
When they're at like a boarding place, like I'm not getting like pictures and stuff. Like
there's no live camera. There's no 24/7 live.
No, I'm usually getting like videos and pictures and like all these things, and I'm just like, I hope she's still alive when I come back on Sunday.
Well, don't let her get in front of the Uber driver. That's for sure. No. So, okay, talk about your corporate sales. I mean, I think the number that you put up on the scoreboard, from what I hear and know you from, is $100 million in corporate sales. I don't know how long that took. I don't know what kind of corporate sales. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I think that alone is the whole episode in itself. But we'll just go into the highlights of that, if that's okay.
And that was corporate sales, and then I was also part of an e-com business after I left corporate as well. But that was like collectively over 22 years in the corporate sales space. So I was in food service distribution. So I worked for Cisco Food Service, and then I worked for a smaller independent food service distributor. So I was basically calling on like chefs, restaurants, large facilities like where like they play like sporting events, things like that. So it was a lot of like large orders. And I always talk about this, I sold for some really big brands, Stouffer's, Gatorade, Lean Cuisine, some big beer brands. So it was really hard to go from like those brands to go into the online space where now it's like, I'm the brand and I'm So, it was a really interesting shift over. But what I saw in the corporate space was I worked with all men. Like literally all men. We're streaming this to my Facebook page, and I'm sure there's lots of men that are going to see this that I'm no longer in corporate with. And I always saw that like they always sold in what was in it for them. Like what's on sale this week? What are they going to get commission on? What's the manufacturer selling on? And I was like, does the restaurant even really need this? Is this what the chef really wants to sell? Is this what they want to put up on the menu board? And I really went at it from a different approach and really built like really strong relationships with my clients. And I think that's what really makes me successful. And I truly believe this, Jay, and I know you're a closer, but I believe women can be way better closers because they're not so quick, they're not so fast, they have empathy, and they listen, they build relationships. And I think that that is something that my clients saw, was that the men were really just trying to push products, and I was just like, hey, I got what you want, and I'm here when you're ready.
So I think most women and closers that I know are learning from men, but it's time for men to learn from women.
Yeah, I love
Boom.
that. Boom,
Okay.
mic drop. I know
yeah, right there. I mean, honestly, like, some, like when I was in corporate, my best bosses were females. Honestly, I'm not saying that to side with the women. They just were. They just have like this empathy. They have compassion. They have understanding. They're not cutthroat and judge. I mean, some of them. One of them was, and I won't mention that name. That's another episode. My gosh. Anyways, so the ones that were really amazing were the ones that were just able to hear your story and understand you as a human being. And I think that's the sales queen aspect that I think men, if you're watching and you disagree with me, that's okay. I'm not here to win an argument, but to say that, there's things that we can learn from each other both ways. So you've been in Arizona for a year. You left your dog. What about, I know there's been relationships and stuff like that, and we'll go to the sales stuff really quickly, but, you're alone in Arizona. So what do you, I know there's things that you're doing to kind of get yourself, you've traveled a lot, I think 4 times in a month or something like that. What are you doing? Are you a normal, a natural introvert, extrovert? What are you doing to get yourself out of your comfort zone?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. People think I'm like such an extrovert because I'm so active on social media. I'm a content machine. I'm always on my stories, but I'm actually quite an introvert. I love to spend time alone. I love to read. I love to go to the movies by myself. If I'm actually at an event, I'm usually the one that's like kind of in the corner. I don't like to actually be like being like super, super, super social. So I've actually had a really hard time like making really strong friendships and relationships in Arizona so far, because I haven't like actively put myself out. I've almost kind of like waited for people to ask me to do stuff. And I realized that like, that's not how it happens. So I feel like I'm slowly like building friendships, slowly building relationships. I found my church there. I found like a handful of friends there. So yeah, I feel like I'm like slowly finding it there. It's also hot as shit there, so you can't go outside and do a ton. So this summer has been a lot of like inside stuff, but I definitely have to keep myself busy outside of work because it's also really easy just to work because it's just me. So I can sit at my computer all day long.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're passionate and you enjoy what you're doing, I feel, and I'm, work is not even work. So my wife's got to peel me out of my office and say, stop strategizing, stop mind mapping, stop, thinking about what you're going to do for your business. And I'm like, it's not even work. It's so much fun. But you're right. When you do have, work, I'm just doing this time blocker planner by Cal Newport. And basically, Cal Newport is the author of Deep Work. And he recommends that you focus at least 90 minutes of deep work. And in this planner, there's actually, I can't show it because the lighting's not good, but there's an actual box that says shutdown complete. It's almost like all systems shut down, meaning spend time with your friends, spend time with your church, spend time with your spouse, spend time with your, friends, cousins, etc. Like have a life outside of your business. But I think the pro for you is right now you're in a space and a place where you are, alone. You are able to focus on your business. You are able to get the progress and traction. You are able to get the progress and the traction that you have been able to get because of that laser focus. And that is a gift. That truly is a gift. You're not distracted. You're not, shiny objects. You're not, filled with all these different noises that most people have the struggle. So instead of like that vantage point of it is true, there's loneliness, there is I'm alone, I'm watching movies by myself. That's okay. That's a season. And then with your church and with your community, and when you find incredible people, they're just not good enough to experience the world of Jillian Murphy, and that's okay. So you don't need to strive or try. It'll happen. God will provide.
And I think the other thing that I've really had to do is like be okay with being alone, right? Like a really great example of this was like there was a comedian that I really wanted to go see. His name is Sebastian Maniscalco, and I originally bought tickets for me and my mom, but my mom unfortunately
I remember.
got sick, so she couldn't go. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm still gonna go. And it would have been very easy to be like, oh, don't go. This is gonna be awkward. You're gonna be by yourself. But I was like, I still went. And last weekend a movie came out, and I was like, I really want to see this movie. So it's like I've had to be okay, like doing things on my own. Because otherwise it's like I'm not going to actually do them and I'm not going to experience them. So there's been quite a few things that like I've done. I've gone to a couple festivals. You know, I've gone to like a spa concerts. Concerts. I went and saw Sebastian. So it's like I'm getting used to some of those things on my own and being okay, being like, no, there actually is nobody else sitting here. It's just me. Or like,
and treating yourself out to dinner.
Yeah, like going by myself to dinner and like doing all those things and being like, you know what, like I do want to try this restaurant. I do want to get dressed up, and yeah, it's awkward at times, but it's also like just the season that I'm in.
Amazing. Well, keep on being you, and let's talk about sales. You know, I think your ability to build community, I got to experience it firsthand in the Sip and Sales networking community. You know, we had like 26. Yeah, it was amazing. Like 25 to 30 people in there. You know, the way that you're moderating in 46 minutes flat. I mean, this girl's like serious. This girl's focused. You know, people had to keep on their time, and you know, it was like incredible. And then even without taking the rest of the hour, which you know most people would go over, and you're like, it wasn't even that good. It was like, it was good, and it was amazing to see that you just the use of your time, because you value your time, you value people's time. I love the way you move that. I love the way you just facilitate that whole thing, and people were starting to connect. So tell the rest of the audience, you know, because they're kind of lost, a lot of them, with even establishing a community, whether or not they're building a community, and even monetizing a community. Because that networking community is not like a pitch fest. You said it very clearly. It's not for doing that, but how do you build a community where you can monetize it?
Yeah, so I have a Facebook group, and I also have my Sip and Sales networking call. Both of those are actually great lead generators for me. But the whole premise around it is it doesn't feel like it's a pitch fest, right? But people know they're in my funnel, right? Like they know they're in it. They get a message from me after like, hey, Jay, thank you so much for being on the networking call today. I'd love to get together, learn about your business, right? Like, but it doesn't feel like I'm doing it. But one of the things that has been so powerful with the Sip and Sales call and the Facebook group is that it really shortens my sales cycle, right? So let's pretend you and I just met on Instagram today, and you just started following me, and you consume my content, you come to my masterclass in 2 months from now, and you listen to my podcast. It might take you 3 months before you and I actually ever talk to each other. But what I do is like, hey, Jay, thank you so much for following me today. I see that you are another entrepreneur. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but I have this incredible networking call on Wednesday. I'd love to invite you into my world. Come over and check it out. Instantly, they're like, wow, I just met this girl and she's inviting me into her world. Then you come to my world. Then you get another message from me that's like, hey, thank you so much for being on our call. We'd love to get to know you. So now my sales cycle is like shortening so quick. And if you saw today on the networking call, I have like super fans in my world. I have clients that have been with me forever. So people are like, oh my God, Infinity is amazing. I'm Jillian's one-on-one client. You know, they're talking about me in the chat box. So I don't even have to sell my products, my programs and services. My community does it for me literally all the time. Like they were talking about yours and my podcast. Oh, it was the best podcast ever. So then people are on that call and they're like, oh, I want to check out the podcast with Jill and Jay. I don't need to like, check out the podcast with Jill and Jay. So that's why it's been so powerful. But the second part of this is it's crazy consistent. I show up every single Wednesday. I've been doing it for 3 years. I've missed it on probably a handful of 5 times ever. So my audience knows I'm going to show up. And the third part of this is it's value for them. So where people get community wrong a lot is it's them at the top, right? It's me. If you go into someone's Facebook group and it's like all about them, posts about them, pictures of them, it just looks like them on a pedestal. My community is very little about me. It's like, hey, this is Jay. He's the sales ninja. Here's Camille. She's our Pinterest queen. Here's Alex Scott. Go check him out. He's amazing. Like, so what happens is other people want to keep coming to my call because they're getting something out of it. They're getting clients, they're getting leads, they're getting podcast guests, they're getting collaborations, and then they're telling their friends about it. But if it was just like the Jill hour, who would want to come to that? I mean, maybe some people, I'm kind of cool, but not everybody wants to come to the Jill hour and hang out, right? So even my Facebook community is very much like, drop your freebies. What do you have going on? What are you selling? What do you help your clients with, right? And then they want to keep showing up and they're super active.
Wow. That was incredible. So just to recap, super fans, I think there's a course there or a program that you could sell, because there are a lot of people do not know how to monetize a community. Call it the super fans infinity, mastermind, where you teach people the secret sauce of crazy consistency and offering value to invite people to monetize their community by focusing on others, not self. Boom. So podcast guests, collabs, leads, telling people about, I think you said it even this morning. It's not about Jillian. It's not about me, but it's about you guys. And that's the secret sauce of why people want to keep coming. I have few networking meetings that I've been a part of where it's not about other people. It's just about the person. So I think that's what stands out very, very much. I love that super fans are selling for you. Like one thing, and I want to know if this is a strategy that's intentional or is it just by mistake, where your clients, your fans, your super fans, your infinity clients, they're tagging on stories where, let's say there's like 5 things that they're doing their schedule. And then one of them in the middle or on the top, doesn't really matter, is just had my one-on-one with Jillian, the amazing Jillian Murphy.
That's just all of them.
Wow.
And I'll tell you something else. This is something that is mind-blowing to me. So we have an affiliate program in Infinity, which means they sign up, they become an affiliate. When somebody buys, they get paid either $600, $800, or $470 right now because we have it on promo. Okay. Nobody in my entire Infinity program, 36 people, have signed up to be an affiliate. People listen, this is a wild story. People send people to me every day. I had someone literally yesterday send me a screenshot and she was like, I just sent my friend to you. I told her all about Infinity. She's totally in. I'm like, just be an affiliate. Like, let me pay you $470. She's like, no, you give so much to us. Like, we will gladly shout out your program. So people are literally selling my program for me every day, Jay, and they literally won't even take money for it because they're like, you pour into us so much, you give us so much. I literally messaged this girl yesterday and I was like, can I gift you like a month of Voxer coaching? And she's like, if you want to, but totally don't feel like you have to, because you give so much to us in this program that I will gladly share it out with my friends. It's like mind blowing. I don't know. Nobody's an affiliate. It's crazy.
You need a anyways, that's the program. Super fans. It's like, how do you grow a monetized community and super fans that sell for you every single day? And
I think because you really take good care of them.
So let get this. I think the genius is maybe because you're the genius and you're doing it, but is really seeing for the rest of the people that are watching the live or the replay, they're like, but what is that secret sauce? Because I know you know it and you live it out, but we don't know what exactly that is. I know you said certain things like consistency. I know you said about value, but what is that value? What is that, training that you're giving them? What is it? What is the care that you're giving them in your calls? Like to tangibly be able to grasp it and say, I want that in my own business. That's something that's very, very, very valuable. It's a gold nugget.
Yeah. So I think some things about me that are a little bit different than a lot of coaches in the online space is nothing is transactional in my business. So when people come into my world, they are like family in my world. So what happens is like when they leave and they're like done with my program, I'm still literally like in their world. I'm still connecting with them. I'm still commenting on their stories. I'm still sending them a Christmas card, right? So I have so many people that come back. Like I just had somebody join Infinity this week. She was literally in a mastermind like 2 years ago. And it was such a easy sale. She came to the closer and then she rebought, paid in full, because she was just like, I want to be like back in your world. Why it wasn't weird is because I didn't talk to her for 2 years. I was still like commenting on her stuff, sharing, how are you? Like what's going on? So my audience never feels transactional. I think that's like the biggest thing. also when they're in my programs, like Infinity's a great example. They get no one-on-one time with me in Infinity. But if they're struggling or they're challenged with something, I will be like, here's my link for 60 minutes, jump on a call. I sell a 60-minute call for $1,000. I gift my Infinity people 60-minute calls like water because I don't want them, one, to go anywhere else. And I also don't want them to ever be stuck or challenged in my program, where a lot of people are like, nope, this is what you get. This is what you paid for. I have boundaries, like no one-on-one time. If you want one-on-one time, you got to like pay for it. It's like, no, I want to serve my people. So I think there's just like little nuances like that. And then because of that, they feel appreciated. They feel seen. They feel like whatever. Like I had a woman last week who was like, hey, I'm feeling kind of stuck. I feel a little lost in this program. Like I'm a little behind. I was like, do you want to do like a 60-minute strategy call in like 7 days on Voxer? She was like, literally, I'm like, yeah, normally I sell this for $1,500. Like, let's just get you on the right track. Guess what? She's a fan for life. She's not going anywhere. So my lifetime value, my LTV on her is way more than $600 or $6,000 or $10,000 because she's going to remember how she felt seen, heard, and loved in my program versus just feeling like a transaction.
Amazing. I'm taking notes, by the way. That's why I'm quiet.
I take them all the time. I mean, I feel you're like a really good note taker.
I am. I wasn't a great student. I mean, okay, so I almost skipped 2 grades, but that's only because I beat the system. But I didn't actually like school. I didn't like the educational, format, if you will. I went to a really good university and ended up going to college, and I found college to be way more hands-on, case studies, group work, get into the real world, get into real companies. And that was like my jam, getting your hands dirty, getting together with people versus like in university, it's very theoretical, very, book smart, very academic, scholarly, but a lot of the theories were not that they weren't really practical and applicable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So applicable. I just made another word. Applicable. So just even if you don't know the word, just make it up and say it with confidence and conviction. So
like it's my show, I can say whatever the hell I want.
Exactly. So let's talk about some sales tips, because I know we're running out of our time right now, and we'll probably have to do a part 2. We're going to
start our own show.
Exactly. I love that. What is a sales tip where people are saying, it seems like a lot to join your Infinity program. I know you don't really have that problem, but for those that are either cash strapped and they really want to join, but they just don't have the money. At least that's what they say. Yeah. What's your objection handling for them?
Yeah, so I actually do get this objection quite a bit. Like, hey, I'm actually not making sales in my business right now. So once I'm making sales, then I'll actually work with you. And I say it with as much conviction as possible. I say, this is actually why you need me more than ever. If you're not making sales in your business, this needs to be your very next investment. And then I say to them, how much is your program? It's $400 or it's $600 or it's $8, whatever it is. And then I say, do you believe in yourself that you can sell X amount, right? So I had a woman last week, great example. I was like, how much is your product? And it's $60. She sold journals. I said, you sell journals for $60. And she said, yeah. I said, do you believe that you can sell 100 journals by the end of the year? We got Christmas coming up. We got Black Friday coming up. We have all these holidays coming up. Do you believe you can sell 100 journals? And she said, yeah. I said, then you're going to make it back. Like, you have to get them to buy in that, like, it's not $6,000 or $4,000 or $8,000. Also, like, you and I talk about this a lot, like, it's the return on relationship, right? So here I am, like, I'm talking about this woman's journals right now, right? I have a podcast that I drop 3 episodes a week on. Like, I talk about my clients everywhere. So it's like, people forget, like, paying for proximity is huge. We have a woman inside of Infinity. I'm not going to say her name on the show. She has probably generated over $80,000 worth of business from my community. Okay. So why would she ever leave it? She's going to stay and keep paying for that and paying for that because it's an incredible lead pool for her.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I think people be like, oh, well, like it's $6,000 or it's whatever, but like, no, it's actually not. It's you need one client, you need a half a client, or you need whatever it is. So I think that's something to really think about, you know, and you and I, you know, we share the same mentor. I work with him one-on-one. And I remember even when I made that first investment with him, you know, it was almost a six-figure investment. And I said to myself, I only have to sell 8 clients. Like, I know this seems like a lot of money, but I only have to sell 8 clients in the next year to make it back. And we made it back in 32 days. So it's like,
wow, really?
Yeah, which first month. It was actually the first month that we launched Infinity. It's like you just have to have like an unwavering self-belief in yourself that you're going to do it.
Wow. An unwavering belief in yourself to be able to do it. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So I have this energy around me that I love to say. It's called like an uncertain energy, or it's like a watch me energy. So it's like, watch me make this investment back. Watch me get on this podcast. Watch me get on this stage. Watch me hit this number, right? Like, watch me do it. Very different than like, I hope I can. I hope I make back my money. I hope I make back my investment, right? And even today, another quick story for you. I had someone in my DMs today, and she was like, oh my gosh, I've already invested $7,000 in my business, and I haven't made any sales. And you know what I said to her? I'll be very honest.
What?
I was like,
yeah.
$7,000 is cute. It's like a cute little investment. Like, you're building a business. Like, $7,000 is nothing. You could not open a Starbucks or a Subway or a Dunkin' Donuts or a franchise with $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. So I don't know why people think they can like come to the online space and invest like $300 or $400, and the return on it they want is like $1 million business, right? We run like $1 million business, but we've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars. I didn't buy like a $497 course, and I'm building an empire on it. And I think people really like forget that.
Amazing. So here's a scenario. So let's say you have a client, and you know they're not able to. They paid you. They're not able to take action, and you've gotten on. Like you said, I think you said you get on all these multiple calls. You want to add extra support through Voxer, and for whatever reason, they're just not able to take the action. They're not able to implement. They're not able to monetize. What do you do with people or clients like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, not everybody is going to win, right? Like, there's going to be some that win, some that don't. But I always tell people, not every win needs to be monetary. Maybe you met your business bestie inside of this program. Maybe you met your next collaboration partner. Maybe, I mean, I'm going to tell you another great story. Like, there's somebody in my community right now. She's been in there about 8 months, and she hasn't made a single dollar in my program. But you know what she's done? She left a dead-end marriage.
Wow.
She left a dead-end program. She left her network marketing company, and she has the community of Infinity like supporting her. So that's where it's like, it's something more than that, right? It's like maybe they've left like an abusive relationship. Maybe they've lost their partner. Like, I'm in a mastermind, and I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of the things that I've been able to do if I didn't have my community around it. So don't always look at like every investment as like dollar in, dollar out. And don't always look at it too as like an exact like immediate return. It's like, maybe it's like down the road, right? So I invested in my mentor, Chris Harder, 2 or 3 years ago. And this week on his podcast, in front of millions and millions of people, he shouted me out. Like,
oh, wow.
It didn't happen yesterday. It didn't happen the first day I invested. It didn't happen like the first month. 3 years after I invested, like, the power of relationship capital. So I think people think it like everything is right away, but like not right away. It takes time. Like, quit, like, be patient.
Amazing. So I know for time's sake, let's look at one more tip, because I feel like Instagram is a challenging social media platform myself. Most of my business has come through Facebook and LinkedIn. Instagram is something I haven't been able to crack, and I think you have cracked the code. What is the some tips that you can give to people like myself who are struggling on Instagram, where we're not really generating leads, we're not really able to book the calls that we want or close the sales on Instagram? And I think most, other than referrals and super fans who are selling for you, is coming from Instagram, and even our mutual mutual mentors as well, getting business from Instagram.
Yeah. I think the first thing is like you have to be on a platform that you enjoy, right? So like if you are listening to this right now or you're watching the replay and you don't like Instagram or you don't like TikTok or you don't like YouTube or you don't like LinkedIn, like don't spend time there, right? One of my very best friends is a LinkedIn expert. He's always like, oh, you need to be on LinkedIn. I'm like, I don't like the platform. Like I don't like it. It doesn't feel good to me. I feel like it's not user friendly. I don't understand it. So like I'm not going to be on it. So you're gonna be better on the platform that you're excited about showing up on. Like I love Instagram. I love the platform. I like how easy it is. I love being in stories, right? So at first it's like find the platform that's good for you.
Yeah. Okay.
The second piece of this is like find the platform where your clients are at. So if you're not generating sales on Instagram, get off of Instagram. If you're not generating sales on LinkedIn, get off of LinkedIn. So it's like the second thing is like go to where your people are because success also leaves clues, right? And then the third thing is it's like asking yourself, what can you do better? So I think a couple things that work really well for Instagram specifically, because that was kind of what you asked me, is it's really about like value-based content on your feed. And then your stories is almost like your Netflix. It's like people want to like watch your life. They want to see what you're doing. And I think one thing that's worked really well for me is I have literally said the exact same thing for 3.5 years. Like my content is saying the same 10 things over and over and over. My reels say the same 10 things. It's like, oh, she's the person to go to for sales. It's like, I'm not posting about my smoothie on my feed. I'm not posting about my daughter on my feed and my dog and all these things. It's like her feed, she's the person to go to for sales. So my audience knows what I do. They can also say like, oh, Jillian Murphy's the person to go to for sales, right? It's clear and it's concise. I always say it's not clever and cute. It's very clear and it's concise. Okay. That's Instagram. But my stories and my podcast is where I come unhinged. That's where I cry about my dog. It's where I cry about my ex-boyfriend, Jason. It's like where I do all the other things. Right. So it's like you can and then bring your audience along. I think that's also important. The other thing that for me that I think is really important is you have to remember that you're going to get new followers every day. And not everything needs to be shared on your main page, right? So if Jay just starts following me today, I want him to know that like I'm an expert in sales. And that if he wants to come over to my Instagram stories, he's going to go a little bit deeper into my life. But that if he wants to go even deeper and get like unhinged Jill, he's going to come over to the podcast. Because it's not only fair for your audience who doesn't know you to get like all of you. Like calm down. That's my thing on Instagram.
That's amazing. I see like concentric circles where people are starting from the outside and, getting closer and closer to who you are and learning, that you're the expert, that you actually are a human being, and then getting unhinged is the raw and real personality and character of who you are, the good, bad, and the ugly. I think that's beautiful. I think there's somewhere there where an Instagram, workshop is called for, where you can monetize honestly, because there's people who would literally pay good money to be able to, build a community or engage on a platform where people are kind of scratching their heads thinking, I like this platform, but I just can't crack it. But if someone can show me the way, and then case studies and screenshots and, whether it's engagement, whether it's book calls, I think you said even yourself, and this is a merit to you, is that there's so many people that are commenting and DMing that there's not even enough time or people or resources for you to get back to them. Yep. So imagine the people that are like in the DMs or in the comments, and let's say there's, 100 a week or more, that, 20% of them could be, becoming enrolled into your program. That would be like incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm really big on like personal touches still. Like, I don't need to have 100,000 followers. It's like, I still want to be like talking to my audience. I want to be voice memoing them. I want to be sending them video messages, but we don't use any like automation or any tech in our business yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I think people are talking about ManyChat in Instagram. People who are, doing 100K, 500K, not to be impersonal, but in terms of speed, like you said, speed loves success, and be able to like give them and drop them the resources that we're, gifting them or promising them, instead of doing it manually. I haven't done it myself, but it's something I'm looking at doing. I don't know if that happens in Facebook. I'm guessing since it's Meta, I'm guessing ManyChat will work cross-platform.
You can do Facebook or you can do Instagram, either one.
Okay. So then you can, I don't know how ManyChat works, but is it like you got to pay per platform, or is it like 2-in-1?
I think it's each one. I think it's its own. I think, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think each one's its own.
Okay. So anyone out there that knows the answer to this, we'd be interested in hearing, your case study or argument. We're actually, it's an easy close. If anyone can share and show us why, this would be something that we would consider to save us time and make more money. We're closing ourselves. We're teaching you how to close us as high ticket sales closers. There's so much more, but I know time has escaped us, and we'll definitely have to do a part 2 or even our own segue on our own podcast, or just keep on interviewing each other, because I think there's so many people that need to learn, not just sales, because I think that's one of the most powerful skills you can learn. But sales is communication, and sales, you heard it from Jillian Murphy herself. It's that human to human, heart to heart, even though she's crushing it, she still wants that, personal touch, the ability to not, sell the pants off a person, but to really connect with people and to provide them the highest level, whether they are clients, if they're clients, to continue to help them get unstuck, and even the clients that have left her to continue to, care and serve them at the highest level. I think those 3 things in itself is the mastery of Jillian Murphy's Guide to Sales Success and Building Community. Any last words or tips that you would like to give to encourage people who are struggling with sales, don't know how to close sales, that we can leave them with?
Yeah, I just think the biggest thing when it comes to closing sales is just remember that, like, one of my favorite things is like, some will, some won't, so what, and like next. Like, it's okay. Like, don't take it so personal. And also, like, you have to be so sold on what it is that you're selling. The reason why I'm so successful in sales, and this even goes back to my corporate days, I didn't really sell stuff I didn't like. If somebody asked me a question, I'd be like, yeah, like, it's not really that good. Whether I was a bartender, whether I was a waitress, whether it was someone on my Instagram, I'd be like, yeah, you actually don't need the closer. Like, you don't have any clients, right? Like, I'm very honest about what it is that I sell. But then on the flip side, I'm very much convicted when I'm like, yes, 100%, this is what you need. Come into my world and I'm going to change your life. Right. So it's like, if you are so sold on what it is that you do, your audience can absolutely feel that energy. So, like, don't try to fake it, because they can feel it.
Wow. There's a sales psychology mindset module right there that you can sell.
There we go.
So good. So good. Jillian Murphy, you are incredible. I think there's 2 links that we want to share as gifts. One is the free one is a fee one. And both are absolutely worth it, because I paid the fee of the closer replay, because I know how amazing Jillian is and I want to learn from the best. So tell us about the closer replay. We'll start with the fee first, and then we'll go to the connection call as well.
Yeah, I decided that I wanted to do a workshop on closing. And by the time I actually finished it, it was just over 3 hours. So it is a 3-hour workshop on basically closing A to Z. We start with like sales mindset. We go through sales psychology. We go through buyer types. We go through objection handling. And then we actually go through closing all the way through. So it kind of takes you through closing A to Z. This is something that literally, like, one sale pays for itself times 100. It's only $300. There's actually even a payment plan on the link, so you can like break up into 2 payments if you need it. But it is literally going to blow your mind. $300. I think like every single entrepreneur and business owner should absolutely grab this for sure.
It is a staple. I invested into it today, and I was actually looking for it so I can actually study it before our call. But I'm super excited and waiting for that to come so that I can learn more from Jillian Murphy. And there's also a 20-minute connection call, I think, that she's offering, as well as a sip in sales to join a weekly network. I went to that this morning. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you guys check out the incredible Jillian Murphy. Again, I cannot speak enough about this incredible sales queen. So on behalf of Jillian and myself, we'll see what happens. There might be some collaborations, kingdom partnerships, podcast, joint ventures here. So thank you again, Jillian, for your time. And thank you, everyone, for tuning into the Sales and Dish Show podcast. Remember to subscribe below. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments. If you want a free invite to the masterclass, to the Sales Ninja Masterclass tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, comment masterclass as well. And we will talk to you guys soon. Thanks, Jillian. Take care, everyone.
Bye.